What's going on? Back doing another video in the My Opinions series. Excited to talk about this one. It's about a LTM for Apex Legends called Revenant Uprising. The rules for it are up on the screen right now. Fight for the future. It's you and 30 Revenants or 30 Legends. You're trying to escape. You gotta kill them all. You're trying to get out of here. Anybody can be res on any respawn beacon, even if they're not on the same team. As long as your squad is not wholly eliminated, you don't need to collect a banner or anything like that, so it's pretty quick and easy. But yeah, I'm about to hop right into it and just give you some honest thoughts and perspectives on this game type. There's this super dope intro it does where it's like, welcome to the Revenant army, and it introduces 3 Revenants. I think it's whoever happens to have the Red Eye Revenant on their team. I think that's how it opens up, and it just has this super dope cold walk up. I think this is like super cool. It's my favorite part, honestly. I love getting to see all the cool stacks of Revenant cards too. So starting off, I ended up actually being the red-eyed Revenant. So I started off with a Prowler and a Kraber. I hate the Kraber, and I thought it was pretty unique. I was really the only person on my army with a weapon of any kind. You know, but you still got to hear all of the crazy chaos going on, all the fighting going on, the shots popping off in every direction. And I think that was it was pretty dope to engage with the game in this way. The game already has a super hectic, chaotic feel to it. That's undeniable. This took that to a whole nother level and just created some really enjoyable combat sequences, tension. And I thought that was pretty unique, you know, especially as my first go through with the game type. Because typically when you're playing Apex, the way you're thinking about the game is so much more focused. So to fight in a game style that's so much more broad or like very, very interesting. I got clapped somewhere in there, and so I stopped being Red Eye Revenant. And now I got my first experience running around as one of Revenant's army. And the first thing I noticed was how fast you run. Here's just a clip of me just running full speed for a second. And then I'm gonna relay that with a clip of me running outside of, but he's just flying across the map. Revenant soldiers are super freaking fast, which adds to my next thought, which is kind of that the gameplay isn't very balanced. It feels like there's a strong advantage towards Revenant and his army. Even though they don't have weapons, they move so fast and they can swarm on you so quickly. Granted, I do believe that if the entire team were to work together, they could definitely easily defeat Revenant's army, but that's why I said earlier they need to have proximity mics. I think proximity mics would completely transform this game type. And that's not to say the game type is bad or anything like that. I just think that's the missing touch to create a fun experience for both sides. I think the stress and the fear of getting, you know, the piss slapped out of you by a million Revenants is real and enjoyable, but I just don't think it's balanced. I will say too that on the Revenant side, you are going to die a lot. I mean, I kind of got to a point where I was dying so much, I was thinking to myself, am I doing something wrong? But running around naked, you've got no shields on whatsoever, no weapon, you can't pick up shields, you can't even heal yourself, you have no items. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It would kind of seem like you're gonna get smacked a lot. You know, so this is the second game, and I had to put the intro back in because they are so dope. Like, kudos to them for this slow build up, all of the red and black on the screen. It's so thematic, it's so interesting, it's so spooky scary, but not too spooky scary. I'm a big fan. As Revenant, you're gonna die a lot. Like, a lot. Holy God, like, why am I dying so much? But you're naked, you've got no shields, so it makes sense. Then I swapped over and I was able to play as the Legends for a few matches. And this is where my beliefs about the lack of balance kind of came true. Don't get me wrong, I think I got like 4 kills right there, maybe 5. So I think that's 6. But you're gonna die a lot as a Legend too. And the deaths to the Legend don't feel as sensible as they do when you're a Revenant. I mean, you know, you definitely gotta hit your shots more than I was there, but it seems like it's very challenging to stay alive unless you're at a big group. In 4 total games, I think I might have died 8 times as a Legend. And oftentimes, it was to smaller groups of Revenants because it was only 1 or 2 of us. Now, I don't know if I should, you know, say that that's on teammates trying to engage a little bit too much, just like I was hyper aggressive as a Revenant. I do think it plays a role though. I do think it is not the easiest thing to do. Now, I would like to see some more skilled teams face off in a mode like this and see if they can't bring home the win, but it does not seem easy. It really seems to me like the easiest way to go about this, the best way to improve on the game, is to include proximity mics, because I think it would elevate the entire experience. to a much higher plateau. And I think that's honestly what this game type needs to take it over the edge into being one of the most memorable things I've done in Apex yet. And having looked back and seen some of the other events, I don't have the greatest of perspectives, but I do have somewhat of a perspective on the enjoyment factor that comes into a game type like this. And now finally, one of the things that you have in the game is if you lose, and I think it's if you lose early enough into the game, you get redirected into joining Revenant's army, and I think that's pretty enjoyable too, pretty interesting, but it also makes the outbalancing get even more outbalanced pretty quick. So like, in a nutshell, if I had to, recap the whole experience, I would say it's fun, it's invigorating, it's extremely exciting and fast-paced. It switches up the pacing, the structure, the strategy of the game pretty nicely. It's fresh air. I think it's really fun. I don't think it's something that can get taken seriously though, because of how they set it up. I think it's too outbalanced. It's more for like the challenge of being able to say you were playing it than the actual strategic desire to win the game. Just because it seems like the patterns and parameters for a successful game mode, which are balanced, isn't really there, and this is not at all me complaining. I think it's really fun. I think that's oftentimes what you want to do when you make a game, is you want to make it as fun as possible. It's fun, it's just not competitive. And so yeah, those are my thoughts on Revenant Uprising, or whatever it's called. I think it's Revenant Uprising. I'm gonna be posting some more thoughts, some more reviews, definitely always more Apex content as I continue to get a grasp on this YouTube thing, and hopefully, just keep growing and expanding my horizons. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Stay safe.